What is up, my friends? Apologies for the couple of minutes delay. I was just on the phone to the wife and had to get it sorted out before we came online. So I do apologise, but we are live and we do have a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to try and pick the bones out of everything that happened yesterday, but we also have a look ahead because news today suggests that Ruben Amorim will indeed be the next Liverpool manager. We're going to give you an update on where we are regarding that over the next hour and 90 minutes or so. We're going to be talking to you guys about a lot of detail. So yeah, let's get stuck into it. Again, apologies for being a little bit delayed. If the wife rings, you've got to answer even if I'm just about to start work. So yeah, we all good? Appreciate you guys being in. And again, just a reminder, the tickets for the live shows are now on sale for Dublin and Belfast. I'm not going to bore you with more detail, but there we go. Right, let me just change this in the bottom corner as well to make sure that I have the sponsors on tonight. We good? I hope we've all come to grips with yesterday's result, because I'm not going to tell you how to feel about it. You know, you've every right to feel as annoyed, as disappointed, or as nonplussed as you want to. The supercomputer has been giving us the numbers again, so we'll run through them today and give you the latest odds or the latest thought processes of people about the title race. I want to say a couple of thank yous. I seen a message. Mark, there you go. Mark gifting a membership. Appreciate you, Mark. Thank you for that, mate. Very kind of you. Adam said, Amorim to become the best manager in the world, said Adam Mustafa. I did see a comment in the chat from somebody who said, Amorim will get us top four at most. I'd hate to be that negative about life in general. And I would gather that this person knows very little about Ruben Amorim, but to come in and say he'll get us top four at most, why do you watch football? If that's your negative outlook, why bother? You're never going to get anywhere in life with that defeatist attitude. I'm not saying you have to be over the top optimistic, but give the guy a chance. Give him a chance. Siha, thank you for gifting an Anfield Agenda membership. Appreciate you. And I much prefer Adam Mustafa's comment about him becoming the next best manager in the world. Everyone show some love to Gerald, said Adam Brown. Yes, look, I mean, I said it last night. I'd never go in on somebody for a mistake. Mistakes happen. That's part of football. You know, it's part of top level sport. People will make mistakes. The best in the world make mistakes. Doesn't matter who it is. Alisson, Van Dijk, everybody will make an error occasionally, and I'm glad that you want to get behind and support Jarrell, because look, he's got a really bright future ahead of him. I've watched the goal back so many times just to try and figure out a few bits and pieces around the goal. But one thing that did catch my attention was that Virgil was pointing back to Kelleher to suggest that that was the ball. I think the ball that Jarrell tried to play to Virgil caught him off guard a little bit, and that's how Bruno was able to intercept it. But look, as I mentioned, it's past, it's gone, we look ahead, we move forward. Welcome to Amorim era. I see a bright future, said Harry Klein. Love it, Harry. Love it, mate. Keep that positivity coming. Rumours from Saudi, they'll offer 100 million plus for Salah. We'll talk about that in a while, Robbie. We do have some notes. It'll be Al-Ittihad by the looks of it that will be pushing for Mohamed Salah. We'll talk about that in more detail in a little bit. I only want to know when Jota and Trent are back. Again, mate, I can't give you a definitive because I don't know the answer, but I would be very, very surprised if one of them, at least, wasn't in the squad for the game next weekend against Crystal Palace at Anfield. But again, Jurgen will give us these updates during the week, no doubt. Craig, what do you think of Darwin missing those chances yesterday? Same as I think about Salah missing those chances yesterday, and the same I think about Lucho missing the chances yesterday. Wasteful. Just wasteful. I mean, even the most loyal, battle-hardened Liverpool people are ruining those missed opportunities. I read John Aldridge's column for The Echo where he said the same. You just can't pass up those chances. You can't waste those opportunities. I mean, the XG from yesterday we'll go through in a while as well. It just shows we should have been comfortable victors in that game, but it is what it is. Craig, who's your source for Amorim? I don't have a source, Omar. I've said this all along, mate. I've never professed to have inside information on this whatsoever. I've been honest about that from the start. But the sources we're going to discuss on tonight's show are both Pedro Sepulveda, and the other one was Santi. What's the dude's name? Santi. Where's his name? 1 second. Sorry, dude. I'm just going back through my notes here real quick. Where is it? Santi _J_FM, who is very hit and miss, but The first one, Pedro Sepulveda, I would say is very well placed, all things Portuguese football related, and I think was the one who initially broke the story around Darwin. But look, we'll go through it all over the next 90 minutes or so. Any questions you guys have, we'll get to them. It's what you get when you don't put your chances away to win games. Yes, absolutely, Robbie. You won't get any argument from me, mate, about our wastefulness yesterday. It just wasn't good enough, and it's as simple as that, really. How am I? I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm having trouble finding a musician for the shows. Another one just dropped out. It's like people don't want the opportunity to play in some cool venues, but I have to go find another musician now for the shows. Just when I thought I had it boxed off, but this is life, you know. You just have to roll with the punches. Craig, random, but I think it would be good. You'd be good on Sky Sports. I'd be fired, George, if I was on Sky Sports, because I'd say what's on my mind, and apparently most people can't do that on some of these platforms. But you are right. I would be talking about Manchester City in a very different way. So funny that Liverpool haven't won while Ben is here. I know, it's crazy. You know, it is. He's a jinx for the United games. What can I say? He just is. But only for those games, I have to say. There was something I wanted to talk about there really quickly, actually. What was it we were speaking about? Nope. Lost it. If Kelleher saved the shot, Adrian would be in goal. That doesn't even make sense. I don't even know what that means. That, as an English sentence, mate, that makes zero sense to me. If Kelleher saved the shot, Adrian would be in goal. I don't know where I'm supposed to go with that, my man. I would like us to win the league while I'm still alive, if possible. Were you not alive the last time we won it, mate? 5 years of age. I had to wait 30 years for a league title. What I don't understand is why people means he was outside the box. I'm going to say this one more time, because apparently saying it multiple times isn't enough. If you think Kelleher is responsible in any way for that goal, you're very wrong. Very, 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 very wrong. Kelleher was where he should have been. The problem came from Jarell Quansah. Now, I'm not going in on Quansah. I'm only bringing this back up because you're addressing it. Kelleher was exactly where he should have been. Virgil was pointing to give the ball to Kelleher. Kelleher was on the edge of his penalty area, exactly where Alisson Becker would have been if Alisson Becker was standing there. That's not even up for debate with me, because I know the position. I'm telling you, in my opinion, that's exactly where he should have been. The problem came with the pass, and the problem came with also Virg not paying attention to where the ball was being played, and he reacted late. There's a still image of the incident which shows Virgil like this, pointing back to Kelleher. Bruno had started his run. Jarell Quansah then played the ball blindly into the centre circle. And if you look where Virg started and where he scored from, it was in Virgil's area as well. So how you want to blame Kelleher for this, I don't know. But all you're doing is just showing that you haven't got a clue what you're talking about. I'm sorry, you don't. It's got nothing to do with Kelleher. That whole goal. I had to listen to it yesterday as well. Craig, you're misunderstanding. Well, of course I am. How am I supposed to comprehend the sentence? If Kelleher saved the shot, Adrian would be in goal. I mean, where am I supposed to go with that, dude? It's not exactly the most... Oh, you mean if he had have saved it, he would have got a red card? Again, it doesn't make any difference. If he had have saved it, yeah, he might have got a red card, fair enough. But ultimately, I don't even know why it's a discussion. I get now where the angle you're going for. Yes, I do understand what you mean. He was outside his penalty area. If you got a hand in it, you'd get sent off. Fair enough. But I had other people yesterday saying to me that he was at fault for it. And that, you know, he should have been able to save it. And that was just silliness. Look, it's just one of them things, you know. We win as a team, we lose as a team. I don't want to put any blame on anybody for these incidents. It's just one of them. Jarell didn't mean to do it. Made a mistake. We got punished. It is what it is. We have to move on past it. Young Quansah has been harshly criticised, but who was at fault really? The fact he gave away one goal or our forwards missed a load of chances. So, Pete, I have to point out, mate, I haven't been pointing a finger of criticism at anybody. I say this as again, mate, we win as a team, we lose as a team. And you are right, we wasted a lot of opportunities yesterday, but you can't rule out the psychology of these things as well. So we were 1-0 up and we were cruising. And then we made a mistake. I'm not even saying who made a mistake. We made a mistake. Bruno Fernandes capitalised. We got punished. And the momentum and the psychology of the game changed. United suddenly got belief. Old Trafford was lifted. And we never managed the game from that point. As Gary Neville said in commentary, let the chaos begin. And that's kind of what happened in that instance. It was like we had PTSD from the FA Cup game against Manchester United, and we went right back to that position of mayhem. And that was worrying, because that's where you would have wanted somebody to slow that down, grab the game by the scruff of the neck. But we didn't. We conceded a second, and the rest, as they say, is history. Toby said, Craig, I feel we should be happy we're still actually joined first. People are forgetting that we can't deny City's run-in looks easy. So, let's look at this over the course of 2 weeks. Man City and Arsenal drew, right? And the media was completely different. Man City and Arsenal drew, and it was a brilliant draw for Arsenal in the media. A defensive masterclass. Liverpool dropped points to Manchester United, and all of a sudden it's, what, capitulation time? I don't like the narrative that have been doing the rounds about it. And I went on the Sky Sports app last night after the game, and I showed Connor these pictures. 3 images on Sky Sports after that game last night. Every single one of them were Manchester United celebrating. Not one of them showed anything to do with Liverpool. It was like United had won the game 4-0. And that narrative is really winding me up. It's going to take a while to get Klopp used to being our first, or not being our manager. It is definitely going to take a while, mate. I'm still shocked. But look, let's get into tonight's stories anyway. I'm sure we'll go back and revisit yesterday again, because, you know, we like to torture ourselves with these things. But so let's go through a time frame of today, what happened, how we arrived at this news around Ruben Amorim. Is it reliable, and what can we expect over the next week or two? So it started off today with a post from LFC Transfer Room that we're quoting Pedro Sepulveda around this. If there is a lag, just refresh. Writing the word lag doesn't do anything, you know, and I can't do anything about it. Refresh it. I can't do anything. I'm going to keep talking, and we'll go from there. Liverpool have offered Ruben Amorim a 3-year deal to be the next Liverpool manager, according to Pedro Sepulveda, posted by LFC Transfer Room. And that is where the story kind of started to kick off today. I swear people just tried to wind me up in the chat. Do you not think the first 3 or 4 comments of lag may have given me an indication that there's a bit of a lag? Nothing I can do about it. All I can do is either end the stream or keep talking. I'm choosing to keep talking, so we'll keep talking. Sorry, I'm going to have to go back and start that again, because I was in a rhythm and now I'm distracted. So I'm going to start that piece again. So the news broke earlier on today, and the first thing that came out was LFC Transfer Room quoting Pedro Sepulveda, who's a Portuguese journalist that we've mentioned previously on the channel, is the one that broke the Darwin story. Wrong side of the bed today, Craig. Go. We good? Will I continue? We good? If you don't want to be here, go. I'm not going to bite on anything anymore. So let me just go back through some of the comments. Basically, Vader, off you pop, bye. 1 second, folks. I'll get to the stories in a second. Bear with me 1 moment. And in answer to the question, but no, I didn't get out of the wrong side of the bed. It's just quite distracting when you're trying to go through news to inform people of what's happening, and you just get people constantly just trying to wind me up in the chat and bait me. And it's not going to work today because I'm in a good mood. But I'll get to the stories in a moment. I've just got to make sure I remove all the people who are impatient. 1 second. Okay, cool. Right. This, I think I've timed out enough now. So, my friends, firstly, I apologise if there was lag. It is quite stormy where I'm living at the minute, so potentially there is a few bits and pieces that I can't keep control of. So I apologise if you're experiencing a lag. I'm going to do my best to get back into the story now, because I want to try and give people as much information as I can. Right, so Liverpool have offered Ruben Amorim a 3-year deal to be the next manager of Liverpool Football Club, and the financial details are nearly complete, according to Pedro Sepulveda, who's somebody who I think is quite a good journalist. Now, with all these things, you want more sources, you want multiple people to confirm these things, but he is quite good on all things Portuguese related, and it tallies up with other stuff that we've been seeing. But it didn't end there. More stuff came as the day went on today. Slanty_J_FM said Ruben Amorim is determined to move to Anfield. Next up came a comment that said Liverpool have now sent their first proposal contract to Ruben Amorim's agent. Discussions will continue to find a total agreement and to seal the deal. Liverpool are favourites. Again, that tallies in with other information we've been getting as the day is going on. But a story from Transfer Sector then posted to say Ruben Amorim has decided to join Liverpool. The Reds have now offered him a 3-year contract. The reason we chose to go and bring you guys the story today is, you may remember in the last couple of days we were speaking about this, and I said a 3-year contract is the number that I would expect to see. So when that number came out today as being the one that was offered to him, it tallies up. I'm not saying this is a done deal. I am saying it's moving very, very much in the right direction, and a lot of signs are pointing to the possibility of Ruben Amorim indeed becoming the next Liverpool coach. So we'll get into the hows, whens and whys over the next hour and a half or so. But it is looking, in this crazy football world, you want to be careful, but it's looking very likely. I, of course, want to hear a Paul Joyce or a James Pearce or David Ornstein confirm these things, but I think we will see that over the next week or so. If that is true, that the 3-year contract offer has been presented to him, I would imagine that we'll get some nods on this over the next few days. I'm so stoked about Ruben, said Samuel Elliott, as am I, mate. Look, as our friend said earlier on at the start of the stream, taking a bit of getting used to, no Jurgen being around. So if we can get past that, then yeah, Amorim's good news. But I also do respect and understand why some of you guys would be concerned, because he's not a Pep, he's not a Klopp. He's an up-and-coming manager. An up-and-coming manager that, up until this point in his career, has done all of his managerial work in Portugal. And the leap from the Portuguese Primeira Division to the Premier League, of course, is a big one. And we'd have these same concerns if it was a player. So it's only natural that a lot of people feel concerned about the idea of him managing Liverpool. I get it. But I suppose there's going to be an inherent risk in the next appointment, no matter who it is, right? I'm buzzing. Honestly, I'm buzzing. The more I look into this, the more I love the idea of Ruben Amorim. He's a very emotional dude on the sidelines as well. And I like that young, fresh energy that he brings. There was a piece in the Echo from, how do I pronounce his name again? Abel Xavier. You probably remember, played for us, played for Everton. He did his coaching badges at the same time as Ruben Amorim. And he said he was speaking to him even back then, and he said he seems like a very intelligent, very calculated, very measured guy, and he thinks he'd be a good fit for Liverpool Football Club. So that's kind of where we're at the moment with that. Now, of course, Salah news has started to come out today as well, and I will move to talk about that. So let me just say, the reason I paused at the start a few moments ago is I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that goes into my own audience, because it's not great. It's not great. And I understand that you guys say lag and stuff just to let me know. But there are also other people that come in that, are just trying to bait me like they did yesterday and the day before. And that's why I'm taking the pauses, because I don't want to bite. And I'm trying to retrain myself to make sure I focus on the good stuff. So apologies, but I'm trying to become a better presenter. And also I got bad news, as I said just before the stream started, about the musician for the live show, which just makes it a little bit more stressful to try and find some more, because I want to make sure we put on a good night for everybody. So, on Ruben Amorim, if you ask me for a percentage, which a lot of people do when we're talking about these things, honestly, I'm at 80. 80% is what I would say right now is the likelihood of Ruben Amorim becoming Liverpool coach. But everything does seem to be coming from the Portuguese side at the minute, and it would be nice to have some English confirmation on this from some of the journalists, that we see week in and week out. Craig, do you own the This Is Anfield channel? No, nothing to do with me, Zach, at all. Why you ask? The only ones we own are Anfield Agenda Clips, and Top of the League. They're the only channels that are associated directly to us. Do you think we should go for Bowen if Salah leaves? So, I would have said yes, Kelsey, for a long time. But now that we're seeing Jurgen depart, I don't think we're going to be bringing in a wide type player, or I don't think we're going to be utilising wide type players. So no, if Jurgen was staying, I would have loved the idea of Jarrod Bowen coming to Liverpool. But at the moment, I just don't think it's going to be the type of position we look to strengthen in. I'm actually more concerned we probably have too many wide players if Salah goes, even with the ones on the books of the club. I mean, I was saying last night, I don't know what would happen with Diaz. Excuse me, a bit of a hiccup in the Amorim system. Proud of you. I'm always a friend. Wish I do more. Liz, much love. We respect and appreciate your input. John Power said he's 100% sure that he will be the manager next season. Craig, if we get Amorim and he has a successful career in our club, do you think Amorim would stay in Liverpool for a long time? God, it's a really tough question, because there's a couple of aspects to that. One, as I said many times about Jurgen as well, there's only so many times a manager can motivate the same group. But I guess over the course of a potential 5, 6, 7, 8 year managerial spell, maybe that team gets refreshed and the same words can be reutilised with a new crop of players. But I hope so. I hope he stays for years to come, because that would mean we've had some success and that would be a good thing. So honest answer is, the days of managers being at clubs for 10, 12, 14 years, they seem to be pretty much non-existent now. Klopp being around for as long as he has, and Pep Guardiola is a bit of an anomaly in today's football. And before that, obviously, Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson. Again, probably won't see the likes of that happening again. AJ Walker, how are you, AJ, my man? Said 89%. Excuse me, no, you didn't. I'm telling lies here, AJ. 99% he'll be our next manager, said AJ. Poll for selling Mo. I will come on to it. Don't worry. I'd love to hear your proposed Liverpool team under Amorim. Can you give me a while to put that together? Because I'll probably do a video on that Whitehammer, where I look at what I'd like to see us set up like and who I'd like to see us bring in. So it's a great idea for a video though, mate. So leave it with me and I'll put it in my notes. One second. Sorry, just wanted to make sure I was reading the right stuff. I'd love to hear proposed teams on that one. I think we should sell Salah now. Can we have a vote? Absolutely. But before we have the vote, let me bring you the news about Salah, and then we can get to a vote. I'd like you guys to be as informed as possible beforehand. And to all the idiots trying to bait me with the lagging, you're going to have to try harder, I'm afraid, because as I said, not biting on it. Where are we with this one? Right. So Graham Bailey came out earlier on to say the Saudi Pro League are readying their initial move for Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. Michael Edwards is aware of the situation and is ready to sanction the sale. Al-Ittihad are in pole position for Salah, with Karim Benzema likely to leave. And then it finishes by saying Salah remains Saudi priority. I'm just checking through my notes because more stuff was coming in as the day was going on here, so please do bear with me on this one. So that's what we're at with regards to the possibility of him leaving. But there was no mention of a price. I didn't see a price being mentioned there at all. So I'm going to put the poll to you guys now. But what should the question be? Because the wording of the question is going to be important here. So will we go with, should we sell Salah for 100 million plus? Feels like probably the right way to phrase it, but again, I'm always open to suggestions on how you'd like it phrased. Nervy selling Salah when nobody comes close to him, said Jack Howe. And again, mate, we'll have that discussion as well. Right, 1 second. So, should we sell Salah for a 100 million plus offer? Should we sell Salah for a million plus offer? Yeah, okay, we'll go with that. So the poll is up. Should we sell Mohamed Salah for a 100 million plus offer? I'll leave that running for a while. Then we'll have a discussion, of course, and see how you guys are feeling about it. Hi Craig, as much as I love what Klopp has done for us over the years, I have to admit I'm very excited for a change in tactics and formation. Hopefully this makes us less predictable in games, said John Loftus. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your super chat, appreciate your input. And it's tough to say I'm excited by it because, of course, Jurgen Klopp's a god. But I'm not as scared by it as I was when Jurgen told us the news that he was going to be departing. That, mate, honestly hit me like a family member moving out or, you know, moving abroad, something like that. So I'm less scared of it. And the more the picture started to become a little bit clearer about the profile and type of manager that we're looking to bring in, yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit more at ease with it. AJ Walker, thank you again. Again, I want to just say thank you. You guys are so generous with super chats, memberships and stuff. It's incredible. Thank you. AJ Walker said, I'm great, thanks mate. Super excited for the next Liverpool chapter. Much love. For your information, I think it's time Mo goes, but it'll definitely leave a hole. And it will leave a hole. You're right. It's, you know, whatever way we look at this, the man's numbers are impressive. They've been impressively consistent over the course of his stay at Liverpool Football Club. But if we can just remove the emotion out of the conversation for just a second, if you look at it in the light of day, going to be 32 this summer, 1 year left on his deal, is the highest paid player at the club, which he deserves to be. I have to say, I think the ability to give a new manager who probably isn't going to play with wide players in the way we use Mo and Diaz, if an offer came in and the player, Salah, was happy to move on, I think it's the right decision to take the offer. It doesn't mean it's an easy decision. It's a very difficult decision, and it's so hard to remove the emotion from it. But I think it's the right one for me. But I do think, and I've thought about this quite a bit over the last 12 hours, is we probably need to bring in another striker at that point, because we need somebody who's a bit more fox in the box, like, who has a better conversion percentage. Diogo Jota is that guy at the minute, but he has had a run of injuries. Darwin has the ability to become that guy, but quite simply at a conversion rate of, 14-15% at the minute. Not really world class levels. Another centre-back. Oh, absolutely. Probably two. I'm happy to move on to talk about that in a bit. Just really quickly, folks, on tonight's sponsors, Oosh, the home of giveaways, whether it's cars, cash, tech, holidays, or those all-important football club packages, our friends at Oosh have got you covered. Right now, with over 4 days to go, there is a Mercedes-Benz C220D AMG up on Oosh, and you can enter in for just 99 cents to win a Merc. I'm not joking, 99 cents. So get yourselves over to Oosh, check it out, 99 cents. you get 10% off that or any of the draws with our code AA10. And thank you for your consideration. Right, so let's have a look at some of your comments. Would Salah even consider a move to Saudi? I guess none of us can really answer that question. I guess that's a question for Mo himself. What I would say is I would be surprised if the interest from Saudi continues to move forward without some encouragement from the Salah side. So, look, do I think he could play at a higher level than Saudi? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I've said this many times, I don't know how to compare my own thought processes, because obviously this could be a move for Mo that puts him into another level of superstardom or financial security. But I don't know if he feels like he still wants to compete at the very highest level. He probably does, because that strikes me as the type of guy he is. And if that's the case, then the answer to that Saudi question is probably no. But I don't know I don't know how strong the pull would be to move to that part of the world, or to be the poster boy of the Saudi League, or to maybe have the ability to get your own Saudi Pro League club down the future. I don't know what they might try and entice him with. Do you have any strikers in mind if Salah leaves? And that's super chat from Silver. I was going to ask you for some help on that one, because honestly, I said I was thinking about who, but I can't really come up with a name. I mean, the lazy option would be to look at the Sporting striker, the one that was at Coventry, that works under Amorim's system over there in Portugal. But I can't lie and say I've watched much of Gyökeres or however his name is pronounced. I haven't. So I need your help on this one. Mark, thank you for the super chat. He said, can we get some hearts from Mods and Craig? Thank you, Mark. You're very kind. I don't need the hearts, my man. I just need people to stop trying to wind me up, because I want to interact with people, and I want to be open, and I want to be honest, and I want to have fun. But I'm also a human being who reacts to stuff, and I don't need it. So if you're here to have fun with us, enjoy the shows, interact, you're always very welcome. If you're here to be an asshole, it's not the place for you. What do you think will happen with Van den Berg? Sale. But it's probably worth a shout to give him a look at in pre-season. But I think sale. Ultimately, I think sale. I have to be honest, as much as the club's in a better position than when Klopp came in, I think there's still tons to address for the new manager. Unsure. There is definitely some to address. I've always felt like one of the things for me that and it's hard to say this because it sounds really harsh, but I think Klopp's been too loyal at times and too trusting to certain players. For instance, as an example, somebody needs to be dropped for the next game from the front three. Somebody. Whether that's Salah, whether that's Darwin, do you know what? Probably not Lucho, to be fair, because he's been in some decent form over the last few games. But I feel like a statement needs to be made here that nobody's undroppable. And somebody needs to be given a boot up the backside to say, we need to be better, making better decisions in the final third. So somebody for me should be benched. Craig, are we wanting to sell Salah because he's in bad form? No. I think it's just the right time. If Salah was sitting here with 3 years to go on his Liverpool deal, I don't think this is even a conversation, mate. I think it's because of where we are with that, the interest from Saudi, and also I would throw in the Michael Edwards factor into this for me. Depending on who you listen to about Michael Edwards and Klopp's time at Liverpool, there were disagreements on certain things, and those extensions for players over the age of 31, 32 were probably one of the things that they are reported to have butted heads on. Salah should be dropped, but he won't. So that's going to be another question I'm going to ask you guys, because I'm preparing my predicted 11 for the game against Atalanta, and that preview will be going out tomorrow. And I've been flip-flopping on the team selection because I've got to be honest, I drop him. I would drop Salah, and then I'd probably drop Darwin for the next one after that, because I feel like they need to kick up the backside. And it's no hate towards any of them, but it's unacceptable that we missed all them chances. It just is. It's not good enough. And some of them were really, really clearly good chances, and between feeble shooting and misdirection, it just let us down too much. And I don't think enough has been made about the fact that's United. That's our arch rivals. That's, if anyone, like, that's the ones we want to go for the jugular with. So I feel like somebody needs to be made an example of, that nobody is beyond being benched. I want to just run you through some of the numbers actually from the game, just to show you why I'm frustrated about the amount of missed opportunities. Liverpool had an XG for the game against Manchester United of 3.59. So they reckon we should have scored 3.5 goals, which of course is impossible, but you know where I'm going. And Manchester United had an XG of 0.71. And the game finished 2-2. Now look, of course, football is a mad business, but we have had an unbelievable amount of strikes versus Manchester United, an unbelievable amount of attempts on goal, and we haven't punished them anywhere near enough, and it just isn't good enough. It isn't. This isn't to do with Liverpool not being able to create. This is about Liverpool being wasteful, making the incorrect decisions in the final third, whether that's a pass or the area of the goal you're looking to shoot at. It just isn't good enough if you want to win a league title. It isn't. I have a little bit of transfer news to go through in a while as well, so stick with us. It's regarding a potential young goalkeeper, a name that we've mentioned previously as well. So, the supercomputer, because we do love the Opta supercomputer, the supercomputer has looked at the numbers again after this weekend's results, and there has been a change in who they believe is favourite. So right now, Opta's supercomputer reckons that Manchester City are now the favourites to go on and win the Premier League. They have increased their percentages from 33.6% before this weekend to just under 40%, so 39.7%. So there's a 6.1% change in Manchester City's favour. Liverpool, we were 45% before the weekend and the game against Manchester United. Now Liverpool's chances are just 31.3%, a decrease of 13.7%. Arsenal have been the big winners here. They have seen their chances to win the Premier League, according to Opta, increase from 21.4% up to just 29%. So remember yesterday I said to you guys in my own mind, I think it's probably an equal pegging, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 here for chances. It's not a million miles off. The Opta computer does think that City are the favourites, but not by a whole lot. It is interesting though, they still have Arsenal as the least likely to win the league. And that surprised me a little bit. I mean, I've no surprise maybe that Man City with the fixtures ahead of them would be looked at as the most likely to put together that win run, but still to see Arsenal the least likely, it is somewhat surprising. I have to say, I think coaches have gone backwards a bit. When we had to use the kids and rotate heavily, we conceded the least goals and scored most of them. We're actually better but gone backwards. So we can't just discount the amount of injuries and changes we've had, but I just feel we've been nowhere near as strong at the back. We've always been a team that scored goals, but when we won the title and in some other seasons, we were a bit more battle-hardened at the back. This season, as good as Verge has been, I don't think we've had that same consistency of defence across the season. We've had 85 shots over the 3 games and not one against Manchester United, said Paul. And thank you, Jack, for your super chat, and Paul again for your super chat, mate. That's ridiculous, isn't it, Paul? Like, to play Manchester United 3 times, have 85 shots, and not win one of them games. It is nuts. Pranav put in a predicted 11 for the game against Atalanta. It's Kelleher, Bradley, Ibu, Verge, Robbo, Endo, Jones, Elliott, Mo, Diaz, Gakpo. I don't think my team's going to be too far off yours, mate. I can understand the thought processes you've gone with there. Yeah, I probably would still want to have McAllister involved, but I understand if you're looking to rotate a bit. I just think, I don't know, maybe I like the idea. I want us to win the Europa League. You know, it's a good chance of silverware that's within our grasp. So I think we need to go strong. My thought process would be try and win it in the first leg, if possible. Try and make sure that you go over to Italy with at least 3 goals in your back pocket. So yeah, I do get where you're coming from, though. I don't think we're going to be a million miles away from our thoughts there for team selection. When we benched Salah, he soon pulled his socks up, said Tanya Wheatley. It sounds really harsh, Tanya, doesn't it? To say bench Salah, your record scorer in the Klopp era, the man who smashed all the records. But I think it's also fair to say it's been disappointing to see how wasteful he's been recently. And not just him. Darwin's had more than his fair share of chances. So we did ask you guys, and we'll leave this poll up for a while longer, should we sell Mohamed Salah for a £100 million plus offer? And you guys were 81% so far are saying yes, which is genuinely higher than I was expecting. What I mean is, when we rotated the kids, we actually played better than we're playing with our older players now. Kids look like they want it more. I still think we're playing a lot of those kids, though. I mean, I don't know which, you're talking Jayden Danns, Bobby Clark, because we are, you know, Bradley's still in the team. I never thought that Danns was going to immediately come straight in after that great little cameo and be back in first team contention. I think having Jota and Trent back will be huge for us moving forward. Elliot, Gomez and Gakpo came on with great intent against Man United. It's the uncertainty of next manager messing with us. I mean, I'm sure it's weighing on their minds, Jonathan, about who the next manager may be. Elliot, Gomez and Gakpo. I agree with you on that, actually. I didn't think Jones had too much of a positive impact when he came on, which is unusual because he has had in recent times. But I do think I agree with you about Gakpo and Elliot anyway. Kangai said Elliot would have won us that game if he started. I did say in my preview I would start Elliot. A lot of people said to me, how were you dropping Szoboszlai? I just don't see the right rhythm of Szoboszlai. No doubts about the calibre of the man, but I just thought that was a game Elliot should have started. I think Elliot would have just understood what was needed better, and I don't think we would have been as wasteful in possession. Mr. Craig, you must know how you speak about Salah as if he's a commodity. Okay, but he is. I don't understand the problem with that, mate. They're all commodities, which is why they're traded, which is why they're paid a lot of money. And at some time, the right business decisions have to be made. What I think you need to understand from my perspective is, I'm not a Mohamed Salah fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. Whatever's best for the football club is what's best for me, because I look at these things holistically and I look at them on a bigger picture. And Mohamed Salah is a commodity. If he wasn't a commodity, he wouldn't be worth 100 million quid with 1 year to go at 32 years of age. What I think is too many people are not Liverpool fans and are Mohamed Salah fans, and that bugs me. So, you know, I think you're disrespecting Liverpool when you're putting Salah ahead of the club. And to me, that's unacceptable. But, you know, each to their own. Can't understand why people are defending Szoboszlai. He's been average overall this season. Well, my argument for defending him would be it's his first season in the Premier League. He's still a young man. And he's had some injury concerns. So that would be, and probably playing in a slightly different position than the way he was utilised at Leipzig. So for me, they would be the underlying factors why I'd give him more time. Sol's loving your work. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. Cavan Executive Tours. Appreciate you. And if that's a business, I hope the business has gone well for you. Yeah, I've never experienced this Salah worship with any other player at Liverpool. There wasn't people defending Gerrard as much. There wouldn't be people defending Suarez as much. it feels like if anybody dares to speak out and be in any way critical of Mo, people get on their high horse and try to make out like it's anything other than an opinion, or that there's a deep-rooted cause for it that's sinister. And I think that's quite frankly disgusting to label at people. It's a football club. They're athletes. They're there to be critiqued if they perform poorly. And Mohamed Salah just isn't passing the eye test lately. And Darwin Núñez isn't passing the eye test lately in a lot of ways as well. And I think that's a sincere, honest opinion. I love Mo, but it's right for the club business side will defo leave a gap. So for those people who will be like, how dare you sell Mo, blah, 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 my point would be, would you be happy in a year and a half's time if Salah was at the club and in, let's say he got a 1 year extension and the manager was told no money to go out there and spend on the squad because, well, we don't have the money. I think rebuilding and refreshing the squad is important, and it just seems like the right time. And I can promise you one thing, if there was any other 32-year-old player in our squad that somebody was willing to pay 100 million quid for, I'd be selling them. Thoughts on Endo Maka as 2 6s and Dom as a free 10? Again, it's... I don't know. It depends on what we're playing behind them. You know, in a back three, maybe. In a back four, I think it's overkill. It's too defensively minded. I think the problem we've had a lot of the time is Salah has been great at providing cover on the right-hand side. He's been really good at tracking back and protecting Trent and helping us defend the space that Trent vacates. But lately, since he's come back from injury, I don't know if it's fatigue or whatever, he doesn't seem to be able to fulfill the same role. Jurgen spoke about the fact that he asked him basically when it went, I think it was the extra time against United or something, or the game before that, he basically asked him not to run back because he knew he was fatigued. Right, sorry, good for more comment. Alan Rice said, for me, you start Maka, Endo and Jones in midfield now. I like that midfield. 3 mate. I think I'm okay with any of Elliott or Jones starting on that other position, but I think most of us would agree that the Maka and Endo combination is the one that we'd nail on. And people may have different opinions. Others may think for a particular game, Gravenberch may do a job, Szoboszlai could do the job, but I think we should be happy with the collection of midfielders we have. $70 million is the first offer for Salah, said Ty Carr. I believe that will be rejected, mate. And personally, if I was in charge as well, which of course I'm not, I'd reject that one. Oh, thank God. Thank God. So, Mark just sent me a post from Anfield Edition that said, a contract extension for Adrian this summer is unlikely. Whew. Good. I agree with that. So, a couple of little stories to fill you in on regarding transfers. One was a deal that never was, but could have been. And a lot of you guys probably seen this already, but it was mentioned by Fabrizio Romano that Rodrigo nearly joined Liverpool. Real Madrid's Rodrigo. Rodrigo was quoted as saying, I almost joined Liverpool in 2017. The deal was done for €3 million. It collapsed because I said no. I wanted to stay at Santos, make history, finish my studies and then leave, even though the offer from Liverpool was very good. 3 million. Oh, that would have been a tidy piece of business. But you got to say, for him, backing himself, hanging off, staying at Santos there and eventually going to Real Madrid, not too shabby for Rodrigo. But my God, imagine 3 million quid we could have had Rodrigo. 3 million quid. And that's euro as well, so about £2.5, £2.6 million. Another bit of transfer news. This one comes from David Lynch. David said, Liverpool are keeping tabs on Sunderland goalkeeper Anthony Patterson ahead of a potential reshuffle of their goalkeeping department this summer. Now, the reason that I wanted to bring this story up again is because this isn't the first time we've been linked to this keeper. If you go back to the last transfer window as well, there was some chatter amongst the English-based journalists about Liverpool being interested in Sunderland's goalkeeper. Now, I'm not going to for 1 second profess to have watched much of young Patterson, but I'm sure some of you guys will have watched Sunderland in the Championship, and I'd love to know your thoughts if you've got any input on his capabilities. David Lynch was also speaking about Caoimhín Kelleher, and he said that Kelleher is expected to attract interest again after impressing as Alisson's backup this season and could be tempted by the lure of first team football. This one's going to be difficult because I'd see both sides of the coin on this one. Of course, I would understand if Caoimhín decided that he wanted to go and play regular football, and of course I can understand that Liverpool would want to keep him at the club because, you know, he's really helped this year when Alisson's been out. So, difficult one on that one. And what I would say is if we do sell him, I hope there's a buyback clause in there, you know, because Alisson won't be able to play forever, as much as goalkeepers do go on much later in life. It's a tough situation for Caoimhín because Alisson, in my opinion, is the best in the world, and Caoimhín Kelleher would be good enough to play in goal for the majority of Premier League clubs. So I can, as I said, I can get both sides of this. Is there news about Ruben Amorim? Yes, mate. I spent 15 minutes talking about Ruben Amorim earlier on in the stream, and I will go back over it in a while. But we have covered it. But again, happy to go back over for you in a little bit, my man. Jota and Trent should be in training tomorrow, said X-Pulse U. I hope so. You know, the sooner the better. We have Diogo back anyway up front. Love Mo, but love Liverpool more, said Harvey King. £100 million for a 32-year-old, wingers not needed, makes sense to sell. That's kind of where I'm at as well, Harvey. I think, as you've said, the age profile of the player, the contract situation, the sheer amount of money, and the change in system, all that combined, I think it's probably, like, if Klopp was staying at the club, I would say give him a new deal. I would imagine Klopp will be fighting for a new deal for Salah as well. But if we look at the situations where Jurgen's gone to bat for players, Milner got an extra year, absolutely, I think great to have around. Henderson, Klopp fought to get him a longer contract, and that kind of, well, that was thrown back in the manager's face a little bit, wasn't it, when Hendo left to depart off to Saudi. So that didn't really work out for the club. So again, I think with Michael Edwards coming in, the smart money would have been on him being at least open to a Salah sale. Ganza said, Craig, what do you think about people saying Liverpool are out of the title race? I'm going to give you the PG answer. I think that they're either people who don't want Liverpool to win the title, so are looking for anything to confirm their dislike, or the Liverpool fans who are a little bit pessimistic or have some PTSD from some other title races that we've narrowly lost out on. What I would say is we're in a worse position than we were yesterday before the game, but still very, very, very much in the hunt. I don't understand how people assume that we can't win games in a row, but everybody else can. I don't get that. Like, if one team was going to win every game, I would say that team is likely to be Manchester City. I don't think Arsenal are going to win the remaining 7 games. Now, can we win our remaining 7 games? Look, that remains to be seen. But I think there's twists and turns still to go in the title race. And the odds keep changing all the time. At the minute, City are favourites. We're second, Arsenal third. Which, if you look at the league table, doesn't make sense initially because Arsenal are top of the league table. You know, there's twists and turns to go. Pranav said, I think we need 2 centre-backs, Inacio and another one. A left-back, Aït-Nouri or Robinson, and a pacey central attacking midfielder like Wirtz, no clue who. So, 2 centre-backs, fully agree with you on that, my man. Inacio, again, I agree with you on that. And another one, I can't really give you a name because I don't know which part of a back 3 that we initially look for. Initially, I think central. So if you look to the right side, Gomez, Kanade, Kwanzaa. Centrally, I guess you could argue again Van Dijk and Gomez. Left side, that's I think where we're stuck a little bit. Left side of a back three. I'd like a naturally left-footed centre-back to be available. What were your other ones? Yuri and Robinson. I like both those suggestions. Both can play in the wing-back role. For me, I would keep Andy Robertson. It would be Costas that I'd look to move on. But don't rule out Luke Chambers being a possibility there as well. And a central pacey attacking midfielder like Wirtz. Yeah, I can see that. Especially in a system where we'll probably be utilising 2 number 10s. But we'll probably see Carvalho given an opportunity by Amorim as well when he comes back. Alex Macklin, thank you for upgrading your membership, mate, to Anfield Agenda Ultras. Appreciate that. Really kind of you. Thank you. I'm not sure how I pronounce this name. Is it Imbia? I remember a few months ago I said Mo is not passing the eye test and his goals were hiding and we should sell him before he loses his value. But Craig defended him. I was right. So this is the thing that I laugh at occasionally. All opinions should be fluid and open to change depending on what you're seeing. So I was up with you there until you had the little dig at me at the end of it saying I defended him. So I'm now being criticised for defending a player. I'm criticised for wanting to sell a player. I can't win in a lot of these debates. I do feel like over the last few months, his form has dipped off even more. And on top of the fact that he was, of course, unavailable for the AFCON, we did have the injury. And then the injury, it was a roughly 3 months all in, he was out. And he's come back and he hasn't passed the eye test. So, you know, am I not allowed to have maybe changed my mind over the course of time? But if you want to feel good about yourself and give yourself a pat on the back, by all means. Do you think Bradley should make it in the best Liverpool team of the season over Trent? No, I don't. As much as he's been brilliant, and as much as I really like Conor Bradley, Trent's had some really big moments for us this year as well. So, I did promise that gentleman I'd go back over the Ruben Amorim news, and of course happy to do so. I just want to point out as well, Everton have been handed another 2-point deduction. It was posted earlier on from David Ornstein of The Athletic. He said, exclusive, Everton given 2-point deduction for the breach of Premier League PSR. Penalty for 3-year cycle to 2022-23. Follow 6-point deduction for previous cycle. Everton will drop from 16th place. Will drop 1 place down to 16th place, 2 points above the relegation zone. And they have 7 days, I believe, to appeal that, which it looks like they will. So, to our friend earlier on who came in asking about the Amorim news, the first thing that we seen about this starting to come out today was from Petrol Sepulveda and posted by LFC Transfer Room. Shout out to those guys. Liverpool have offered Ruben Amorim a 3-year deal to be the next manager of Liverpool Football Club. Financial details nearly complete. So on these things, you see a couple of things. You obviously want to see more confirmation of it. The next thing that came out around this that we'd seen was, again, our friends at LFC Transfer Room posting saying Ruben Amorim is determined to move to Anfield. And then that was credited. Actually, they didn't credit on. Oh, they did. Santi Firmina, I think his name is. Next one was Liverpool have now sent their first proposal contract to Ruben Amorim's agent. Discussions will continue to find a total agreement and to seal the deal. And as the day went on, more and more variations of this story started to come out. And then tonight, there was a post from Transfer Sector that again credited Santi_J_FM, said, breaking, Ruben Amorim has decided to join Liverpool. The Reds have offered him a 3-year contract. So that's where we're at. It's looking like 3-year contract. Ruben Amorim's the guy. That's where we're at the moment. Man City have agreed personal terms that Lucas Paqueta, no agreement between the clubs. So, question on the Paqueta situation actually. Whatever happened with his betting, I don't know what to call it, irregularity or whatever it was. You know, it seemed like that was brought up at the very end of the summer, just before the season. And I have not heard anything on it since. Now, absolutely possible that I missed out on that, but it seems mental. Dave said, mad to sell Salah. Why? Why, Dave? Not saying you're wrong, bro. Just asking why. With 1 year to go on his contract at 32 years of age, what do you want us to do? Throw more money at him? I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just genuinely trying to gauge where you're coming from, because, you know, I don't think the same way about it. Musiala or Wirtz? I prefer Musiala if I was picking, but you're not going to say you're unhappy with either of them, right? Because they're both really good young footballers. Would you start Salah on Thursday? Said Carol Gorgie. So I drop one of Salah or Darwin. I think somebody needs a warning or a kick up the backside to say that they aren't undroppable, that they aren't an automatic start. And I think Salah and Darwin are most culpable for the missed opportunities that we've had. So I think one of those two probably deserves to be benched. Which one, I guess I don't really know. That'll be up to the manager, but somebody deserves to be given a reminder that this wastefulness can't continue. Heard rumours of Thomas Frank. No, he was ruled out a while ago, Alex. He was on the initial list, but he was ruled out. Would you rather see, Craig, would you rather see us ending second on goal difference or City winning the league again? So who wins the league the other way? Is that Arsenal winning the league? I'd rather see Arsenal winning the league than Manchester City winning the league. No doubt in my mind. I get people are going to say, Craig, their fans will be unbearable, and I understand that, but I have respect for Arsenal. And fans are supposed to be unbearable if they win a league title. That's our job as fans, but it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt badly for Liverpool and Arsenal fans if you know, whichever one of us, or maybe both of us, not winning the league. I would say the same about City fans, but let's be honest, you know the rest. Play all three, put it right. You see, that might hold more weight with me if they didn't piss away a load of chances in the FA Cup game against Manchester United as well. So they've had their chance to put it right, and they didn't. And that's where I think somebody needs to be given a reminder, because we sat through that international break, 2 weeks of frustration after that FA Cup defeat to a really poor United team. And then we got them in the league, and it was built up all week that this is a massive game, nothing but 3 points, and we pissed away a load of chances. It's unacceptable. And by the way, all the people that are trying to say he hates Mo, I don't really care what you think. It's my opinion. I'm not asking you to agree with me. But if you're going to he hates Mo, you're pathetic. What do I refer to him as? The great man. The king. I don't hate him. I'm just looking at the bigger picture and have formed my own opinion. If you don't like it, I really mean this. I don't care. It's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to respect that it's my opinion. Going straight to Craig hates anything is just pathetic on your part. Because I don't agree with you, it has to be hate. Grow up. Would you be up for sneaking in to steal Hincapié from under Alonso's nose? I don't believe they're going to let that team be broken up this summer. I think, you know, if you're Xabi Alonso and you've spoke to Simon Rolfs, I think he's the sporting director of Leverkusen, you know, one of the things you're going to say is, of course, I'd love to stay on, but the team has to be kept together. Nobody gets sold. Now, Diamande and maybe Hincapié do have release clauses, I believe. So if they're triggered and the players want to go, fair enough. But I would say that Alonso's confident the majority of that team will want to stay together and go into the Champions League and compete together. Do I watch much GAA? Not really. No, not really, to be honest. Do you think the Blues go down? No, I don't. And I don't want them to go down this way. You know, if Everton ever get relegated, I want it to be because of a 38-game season with no points deductions. And for the city of Liverpool, I like that there's two Premier League teams. I feel like it would be tough if they went down this way. But, you know, I guess we're going to have to wait and see how that all pans out. I also don't really want Luton to go down either because, you know, I like the fight that they're putting in to try and stay up. Do I rate Hoyland? Yes, absolutely. I don't think United will see the best of him for another 12 months or so. He's a young player. Probably ideally shouldn't have come to United for another year or two, but wanted to challenge himself. One thing I say, looking at Hoyland, is he's never going to not fight for the shirt. You know, I think he's like Darwin in that way. He'll always run and fight and work hard for the team. So yeah, I do. I think Hoyland's a good player. Just like other players who come into the Prem, sometimes I think people are too quick to rush to judgment one way or the other. Do you think West Ham beat Xabi Alonso's side? Oh God, I tell you what, it's a really good measuring stick of where that Leverkusen team are for us, especially looking on. The second leg is in London, so if West Ham can keep that within one goal margin going back to London, maybe, but I probably feel like Leverkusen will get through. But it's going to be interesting to have a look at the game and see where Leverkusen are at up against the Premier League opposition. You give the trolls too much time. But I don't necessarily think sometimes, Paul, that that's trolling. Somebody saying I hate Mo, I like to try and inform them of why that I'm saying what I'm saying. If I hated them, I tell them to go F themselves and, you know, whatever. I'm trying to just give people an informed reason as to why I think the way I do. It's a lot easier to sit on the other side of this computer screen and tell people not to bite on stuff, but ultimately it's potluck what comments I read. I don't pre-read them before I read them out. I just read whatever comment I pick on, and sometimes that's a good comment, sometimes it's a funny comment, sometimes it's a silly comment. It comes along with being interactive, mate. It's very easy to tell people not to bite on stuff, but I'm an emotional dude. Sometimes I get angry, or I don't know. So I try, but as I said, I am human. Salah really has to go. He's not getting any younger, and we did overwhelmingly good when he was injured. Sometimes it's difficult to say goodbye, but it's necessary time to think of our future. I think you've probably summarised that, OG Lizzie, better than I tried to earlier on. Yeah, you're right. He has been amazing, and he will be on the record books at Liverpool, and he will always be looked at as an idol and an icon in Liverpool, and will most likely have something dedicated to him at some point as well. But I just tried to put myself in the shoes of the club, and I think turning down 100 million quid for a 32-year-old just seems like... So I think it just makes sense. What do you think about Salah's 2-year deal and lower his wages? Yeah, I've no issue. The only thing I wouldn't do for Salah is a pay increase. But a 2-year extension to keep him on the same wages, absolutely, I'd have no issues with that. If Ruben Amorim said to Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, I think I want to utilise Mohamed Salah in this way, I'd like to keep him at the club, and Mohamed Salah was okay to staying on the same money, yeah, absolutely. I just would imagine, it's very rare that a player will extend money. So normally an agent's going to want an increase, and I don't believe he's earned that increase. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Same pay, 2 years, no problem. I think I could understand that. But an increase, no, I don't think that increase has been deserved. Do I think Gary O'Neill will fancy a bigger job than Wolves? Definitely, and will get one. I don't know who's going to be brave enough to give him that, big six job, but he definitely does have the makings of a good young coach, and he seems to get on well and manages players in the dressing room well. Yeah, I do think he'll move on to a bigger club. Not to, slag off Wolves or anything like that, but, I think he will end up at a higher level. Could he be? Probably not, maybe, but I'm just thinking after Southgate, could he be looked at in that sense? Don't know. Do you think Lucho or our wingers would have space with Ruben Amorim? I don't know. Probably not, because he plays with wing backs and 2 number 10s and a lone striker. Could Lucho be a wing back? Maybe, but again, the fact that he's not a natural left footer would go against in that column for me. So I would say no. But Salah, like I've always said, I could see playing centrally. As players get on and get older, sometimes they reinvent their positions, and I can absolutely see Salah through the middle. But it still concerns me that he's missing a lot of opportunities at this particular moment in time. Big love, Craigie boy. Love the whole team. Thank you, Gary. You're very kind. Isn't Stefan's issues due to growth spurts? Yes, to some. It's to do with his physical makeup. He hasn't. This is going to sound really simplistic, but he hasn't gone into his adult body yet. Similar happened with Steven Gerrard, if I'm thinking back right, and that was it. It's just they wanted to put muscle and mass on Bajcetic to make sure that he was able to cope with the rigours of Premier League football. So I think yes, it's kind of to do with growing and the physicality of the league. How are Everton deducted points again, but City aren't, even with just 4 points would take them out of the title race? Because it's a far more complex case, I guess. Everton have been helpful and opened up for the Prem, whereas City seem to be putting up obstacles at every opportunity. So I guess that's somewhat in the dip, but it's much more complex to figure out the City situation. Do you think Amorim can win us? I'm going to try that again there, Nut the Nerd. Do you think Amorim can win us a Premier League title? Well, I've got to say yes, don't I? I've got to. If we don't believe that, we're giving up already. So, yes, look what he did at Sporting. They hadn't won a league title in 19 years. He delivered that. And now they're on to win a double before he finishes up. And they're 4 points clear at the top of the Portuguese league with a game in hand, I believe. So it's looking likely that they'll get the league sewn up. And if he can finish up with a double there, if you're him, you're probably going to say, what else can I do at Sporting? And the next step then is to obviously take a step forward. And at Liverpool, I would hope that he could deliver the same progression as he did with Sporting. Do you think Real Madrid beat City? No, I don't. Unfortunately. Yeah, no, I don't. I think City will get it done. And I hate saying that. Have I seen the eclipse on TV? I haven't seen it yet. No, I usually watch CNN late at night when I'm doing my notes for the next day. So I'll catch up on it all later on. Craig, how about Salah becomes a part of the squad like how Modric is for Real Madrid? I don't think we have that level of money to throw around for squad players, unfortunately. So yeah, I think that's most likely why. So remember, one of the things that was spoken about when we first heard that Edwards was coming back into the role was the ability to remove motion from decision making was one of the things he was championed for. And this is why, as soon as he was appointed, I felt like the likelihood of us selling Salah probably increased. Do we sell Lucho? Depends on the offer, what he wants to do, and again, what the new manager wants to do. I mean, the fairest thing to do is let the new manager come in, look at the squad, and then make a decision. But there also has to be a destination and a willing buyer. So if you look at the fact that, let's say, he wants to go to Spain, and his father's made no secret of that, can Barcelona afford him? Well, they couldn't afford to buy Amorim out of his sporting release clause of €15 million. So, no, I don't think Barcelona have the money. Do Real Madrid need him? No, they have enough wide players in there, maybe even too many. So the only other option there could potentially be Atletico Madrid. And I've not heard of any interest from Atletico in him. So, again, there has to be two sides to this. There has to be a willing buyer and a willing seller. And I don't know where we're at with that. So the honest answer there is I don't know what's going to happen there. Do we sell Salah? Again, for 100 million plus, yes. I feel like that's the correct business decision. Sell Jota, Gakpo, Núñez as well. Feels like a little bit too much, that. A little bit too much change. I can understand your thought process of, some of them not delivering enough, but Jota we got to keep around, surely. Gakpo, I wonder if Gakpo will work better in a different system with the new manager. And Darwin, nah, I wouldn't be selling Darwin. Not yet. We'd lose a fortune, I'd say, probably, if we look to sell him now. PSG could well be looking at Lucho. Yeah, but would he want to go and play for PSG? I don't know. Is PSG a step forward from Liverpool? Definitely not. But maybe if they threw enough money at him. So I'd be interested to see if PSG come in for Mo. Because if Kylian Mbappe goes, we know the relationship that Mohamed Salah has with the PSG president. They're friends. We've seen them have lunch together after the Bournemouth game, I think, last season. So maybe there's going to be an offer coming from that direction as well. Yeah, look, a lot of this, of course, is just educated guesswork at this point. Good night, Tanya. Good night, mate. Darwin is the future. He's a real handful, said Alan Rice. He is, but he needs to brush up on his finishing a little bit, mate. He does need to be a little bit more prolific. Sorry, just checking through notes. I could see Ruben Amorim making Núñez like a monster this season with similar language together. Yeah, I can also see why he would want to come and work with Fabio Carvalho as well, so I can see that being a possibility. Can you go over the Amorim news again? Absolutely, my friend, no problem. Just give me 2 seconds and I'll go back over for you, no worries. They'll go for Xavi Simons. They don't need to go for him, he's already their player. Although maybe that's what you meant, Stanislav. Yeah, Xavi Simons is already PSG player, he's on loan, so they'll bring him back. Craig, as finishing coach for Darwin, please teach him how to shoot. Oh, no, that wouldn't be my job, mate. No, I wouldn't be that composed, calm, fox in the box finisher. I was a goalkeeper or a left winger, definitely not a composed striker. Hassan, I'm good, my friend. I'm good. Nice to see you in, and I hope that you're well, sir. Thanks for joining us. Do you believe Amorim is actually close or paper talk? I believe he's close, yes. Now, I gotta, again, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have my own line of information on this, but I do truly get the feeling that it's close, yes. I feel comfortable saying that he is the target. But I don't know. I don't know 100% for matter of fact that the news that was today is all absolutely credible, but nor have I seen it shouted down by other journalists who aren't breaking that story. So sometimes with these things, it is the local, and in this case, the local Portuguese-based journalists that seem to be getting some of the tips on it. But yes, I think it's true. So, to go back over the news for you, and again, if you are new to the stream tonight, folks, please do hit that subscribe button as well, and thank you for being with us. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream. So, to go back over the news for everybody who's coming in a little bit late, firstly, welcome. I hope you've all had a lovely day and recovered from yesterday. So, the first news today from Pedro Sepulveda was Liverpool have offered Ruben Amorim a 3-year deal to be the next manager of Liverpool Football Club. Financial details nearly complete. The next thing that we'd seen come up then was from Santi Firmina, I believe his name is, who said Ruben Amorim is determined to move to Anfield. That was followed up by Liverpool have now sent their first proposal contract to Amorim's agent, which kind of tallies with what Pedro Sepulveda said. Discussions will continue to find a total agreement and seal the deal. Liverpool are the favourites. So as the day went on then, another story started to come out, and it was from Transfer Sector Broke It, who said, breaking, Ruben Amorim has decided to join Liverpool. The Reds have offered him a 3-year contract. So if these things weren't true, I believe they would have been shouted down now. What I would imagine is the case is, I would say a lot of the journalists do have this type of information, but maybe out of respect for our side of it and the timing, they're going to leave it be for the minute. But I think it would have been shouted down very quickly if there was no truth to it. You look a bit happy tonight. I am. That's why I was surprised earlier on, Alex, when people said that I get out of the wrong side of the bed. I'm in really good form today. Feeling great about life and really positive and looking happy. But, you know, I've also had a really tough week with regards to people telling lies about me, going out of their way to leak stuff from my Discord group, and, you know, just being little shits, to be honest with you. But no, I'm in good form, mate. I'm good. I'm very happy with life in general. Family are all healthy and well, and, you know, I'm just trying to look on the positive side of the fact that we are still in this title race with 7 games to go. And as disappointed as I am from yesterday, and I'm not willing to give up yet, because there's a lot of football to be played, and I still think there's, you know, a Europa League final on the horizon as well for Kloppo in Dublin, and I'm buzzing about the 2 shows. I mean, truly, I'm absolutely over the moon about the shows. Look, there you go. Sorry, in Dublin and Belfast, on sale already. I mean, to see my name on Ticketmaster for shows in venues that I've seen, you know, big people play at, and I'm just buzzing, mate. Just buzzing. Would I consider Unai Emery? Yes, but he's not a realistic consideration, because he's at Aston Villa. Villa have very wealthy, ambitious owners, and he's on the periphery of taking them into the Champions League. So, no, from that sense, I wouldn't. Oh, and also, I forgot to add another reason why, of course, I'm in a good mood is I was in another 442s cartoon, and I got to kick the crap out of Michael Owen in cartoon form, which was very satisfying to watch on and see. Do I watch baseball? No, I don't. I think, no, not a fan. We're not giving up. I feel there's more than one twist in this epic title race. Just need to enjoy it to the fullest. The last season with Klopp. It's so tough to enjoy it though, mate, isn't it? You know, because there's so many ups and downs in this title race. So yeah, it's really, it's emotionally tough. It's up, down. Happiness, disappointment, frustration, but yeah, I mean, I'd still be there if you offered us this at the start of the season. I think most of us would have been very happy with the situation. What do you think about Trent's future? I expect a new deal. I expect that new deal to be announced before the end of the season, and I think it's understandable that people would look at the interest from Real Madrid and maybe be a little bit concerned. I certainly was initially when I started thinking about Trent's friendship with Bellingham, and I thought, but I think hearing Trent speak himself about wanting to become Liverpool captain one day, and I just think it would make no sense to not try to get that deal sorted soon. Do you think Klopp will be the only one getting a send-off, or will Mo be joining him? So, well, we know that Thiago and Matip are probably going to be departing. Thiago certainly, but both of them are up their contracts in the summer. Adrian, again, looks like he's going to move on. So there's always going to be some goodbyes at the end of the season. And yeah, I'm sure there will be one or two players that maybe we've spent years idolising that potentially move on. So is Salah going to be one of them? I would imagine yes, but you know, let's wait and see what happens. What's my YouTube goal as a creator? I don't know if I've ever been asked that before. So again, just to be blatantly honest, to become the most subscribed to Liverpool fan channel, to surpass Red Men TV in that regard. We already are the most watched numbers wise, views per month, watch-alongs, all that stuff. Do some more live shows. There's a couple of venues that I'd love to do. Get some financial security down the line for the family. Buy my house. That's really it. You know, just enjoy it. You know, I started this out of want for a human connection, to reach out to other fans, to help overseas fans feel like they're welcome and part of it all, because I know at times if you're from other parts of the world, you could, because I've had it to myself occasionally, you can be looked down your nose upon a bit, and I always wanted to make sure that everybody felt welcome in this community from wherever you are in the world, however long you've supported the club. Yeah, that's it. I don't really think too deep about it. Just want to keep doing it while I enjoy it. What do you think of the introduction of a luxury tax? I'm on the fence about it, mate. I can see the reasoning behind it, but it depends what the levels are, and what is it for the severest of punishments or for the smaller amounts. I don't want it to just be a way for wealthy owners to go and be able to splurge a load more cash and then just pay some fines for it, but I can understand the trickiness, because everything has been litigated now. Everything has been dragged through courts. Everything has been dragged out and out and out. And the Premier League are probably sick of the sight of all these legal challenges. I don't know why, but I got a feeling Robbo, Diaz and Kelleher will go. I don't know. I find it so difficult to really talk about these things, because I don't know too much about how Amorim's going to view things. If Jurgen was here, I feel like I'd have a better understanding of what maybe to expect, but I don't know really at the minute what to expect in the summer. All I hope for every transfer window is that we're a little bit stronger when the window's over than we were before the window started. Tobias said, I was in the Discord group before I went to the army. Now I'm back. It's been a while and I'm not in there. Did you clear it and make a new one? Yes, we did, Tobias. We deleted the old Discord group and created a new one. And the ability to get in there was based off either being a moderator, being an Anfield Agenda Ultra member, or being given an invite into it. Your good self, I'd have no problem, Tobias, giving you the link. I'll know your name. I remember you. I didn't realise that you were in the army, mate. I hope that went okay for you. So just email us, Tobias. Contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. Contact@AnfieldAgenda.com, and I'll get that link to you, mate. I remember your name, definitely. Craig, do you think Spurs would do us a favour and beat Arsenal? Well, they wouldn't be doing it to do us a favour. They just hate Arsenal. So, yeah, they would very much like to stop Arsenal winning the Prem. Because the last thing Spurs fans are going to want is to have Arsenal fans lauding a Premier League title over them again. So yeah, they will do their utmost, I'm sure. And of course, they'll have Champions League considerations of their own. Love your channel, Craig. Thank you for welcoming me to the channel. It's in YouTube platform. Mate, it's a pleasure. Pleasure, George, and thank you for your support, sir. Could you recap the Amorim and Salah news? Happy to, Luke. Just give me a couple of minutes, bro, and I'll fly back through it. Again, I just want to remind you, though, that tonight, Monday, it's Oosh night. So if you haven't already, don't forget to check out Oosh's competitions this week. I'm looking at the Mercedes car here now. You can win a Mercedes-Benz C220 AMG and enter it for just 99 cents. And that's before your 10% discount, so about 89 cents. Get yourself over to oosh.com, use our discount code AA10 to get 10% off any of the draws on oosh.com, and that is a 2020 Mercedes C220D AMG. It's a beautiful looking car, and there is just over 4 days left to go in that competition if you would like to enter it. Your channel's the best out there. Thank you, Barry. Again, I want to ask you guys a question before I recap the news, and I'm happy to for a friend that asked a minute ago. Give me a thumbs up if you've got tickets to one of the shows, because I don't have an update on ticket sales yet, so I'm kind of trying to gauge how it's going. So if you are coming to the Belfast show or the Dublin show, let me know if you've got your tickets in the chat, and again, appreciate your support. Mercedes or Ferrari? Are we talking about Formula 1? I don't really follow Formula 1, mate. So yeah, no, don't really. I'd rather own a Ferrari, but, you know, both fantastic manufacturers. Do you think United can pull a sly one on Arsenal? Maybe. You never know. It's the Premier League. It's competitive and anything can happen. You know, what if Arsenal pick up an early red card or something in a game? You never know what can happen in the Prem. Riley, thank you, mate. You're very kind. When does Sabrina get her first shift in the fire service? She starts her training on Monday. She's got basically a month-long training course starting on Monday. So after that, I suppose. She got her uniform and stuff now, and has her medical actually tomorrow. Do you still communicate with Chris? Not really too much. Had a message off him a while ago. Chris is working, or last I checked, was working as the press officer for the World Snooker Tour. So that's the last conversation I had with Chris. I've got 4 spares for Belfast, €900 each at Gary's Toe. I think you'll be hanging on to them then, Gary. Will you consider doing fan call-in shows after games? Gets a bit messy. Never say never, but they're difficult to get right on a technical standpoint. As a Liverpool fan, it was never a penalty yesterday. Harvey Elliott fell down a ton of bricks. I disagree. Harvey Elliott doesn't have to vault over Aaron Wan-Bissaka's leg. So you got to keep that in mind as well. It's not his job to get out of the way of Aaron Wan-Bissaka lazily going to ground. So you could say he fell down like a ton of bricks. I think it was a stonewall penalty, and I guess we both have different opinions. I seen contact on the trailing leg coming through and hitting him. As I said, Elliott has no duty to get out of the way. He didn't go to ground rash looking to slide in. Aaron Wan-Bissaka went to ground, and if he makes contact with Elliott, that's a penalty. What are my thoughts on Carlos Forbes from Ajax? I don't know anything about him. I've never heard of his name before. Right, hang on. Just got some news. Right, so this coming out of CM Journal, which is a Portuguese outlet, just said Liverpool are set to meet with the agent of Ruben Amorim on Tuesday to try and sort the details of his contract with the Anfield side. Costa, the agent of Amorim, will talk with Sporting to sort his departure at the end of the season. So another Portuguese outlet now reporting that Liverpool are going to meet with Amorim's agent tomorrow to sort the details of the contract. See? Looking good. Are you doing a show in Glasgow? No, probably not for the minute, Scotty, no. It's just so far up, mate, to try and link up to other shows. So, Dublin, Belfast in May and start of June. Cardiff and Liverpool on August the 2nd and 4th, and then I don't know after that. So basically Amorim will be done by tomorrow. I wouldn't say that, mate, no, because there's still the release clause stuff to sort out with Sporting, but all of this is starting to look like, yes, Ruben Amorim is going to be the guy, and Ruben Amorim is the one that Liverpool are going to try and get done. And look, for me, this became really clear that it was going to be him when the Chelsea interest fell away, the Barca interest fell away. It looked like Liverpool were the front runners there, and now it's looking very, very likely. So, to go back over the news for those who came in late and asked me to, started off today with Pedro Sepulveda saying Liverpool have offered Amorim a 3-year deal to be the next manager of Liverpool, and the financial details are nearly complete. Next bit of news that we've seen come out was that Ruben Amorim is determined to leave and move to Liverpool. Then it came out Liverpool have sent their first proposal to Amorim's agent. Discussions will continue to find an agreement. Liverpool are the favourites. Later on then this evening, a post came out from Transfer Sector to say Ruben Amorim has decided to join Liverpool. The Reds have offered him a 3-year contract. And then just very moment ago, Connor sent me the post to say Liverpool is set to meet with agent of Ruben Amorim on Tuesday to try and sort the details of his contract with the Anfield side. Costa, his agent, will then talk with Sporting Lisbon to sort his departure at the end of the season. So it is looking like we are getting to the point where it looks very likely Ruben Amorim will be the next manager of Liverpool Football Club, and I'm very happy with that. You know, as much as any new manager is going to be a risk, I like this decision. I like the idea of him coming in with his high energy, great personal relationships with his players. I'm looking forward to a little tweak in formation as well. And as much as none of us want to lose Jurgen Klopp, I'm happy with the replacement. It's exactly the choice I would have made if I was in Michael Edwards' shoes, and Xabi Alonso said that he wasn't willing to leave Leverkusen. So I think it's the right move. Now, somebody also asked me for the situation with Salah. This was posted earlier on from Graham Bailey, who said the Saudi Pro League are readying their initial move for Liverpool's Mohamed Salah. Michael Edwards is aware of the situation and ready to sanction the sale. Al-Ittihad are in pole position for Salah, with Karim Benzema likely to leave. Salah remains Saudi priority. So that's the Salah situation. I'm a bit scared of Poch getting sacked. Chelsea could get Amorim. I don't think you need to be scared, Alex, because let's be honest, bro. Who the hell is going to pick Chelsea in this position over Liverpool for a manager? Looking at what Chelsea's recent history of managers and their activity in the transfer market has been, I don't think you need to be concerned about Chelsea. And Chelsea have already cooled their interest anyway, so I don't think you need to be worried about that one. Craig, if you could do one team talk, what would you say? Oh, I'm not giving that away, Riley. Not giving that away, mate, until I do one of the charity games or something and I actually give the team talk. Bayern or Arsenal? I think Arsenal win that. I think Arsenal are a better team than Bayern, so I think they'll get past Bayern Munich. Any updates on the new channel? Nope, nothing will happen till the summer. So, no, I haven't even really started thinking about it yet because I have a lot to get sorted out between now and then. Mainly make sure we see out the season here, get the live shows sorted out, get the live shows written out, and yeah, that's it. So, Roz, again, I know you're trying to bait me, but I'm not saying any of this, you dumb little clown. This is coming from journalists, so you can cry, moan at me, bitch at me, do whatever you want, mate. But most importantly, just continue being a good little fanboy and sit there and let me talk. Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm sitting here with 250,000 subscribers. You're sitting at home behind some fake account, giving a Billy Big you know what. And I don't really care about your interpretation of me, your thoughts about me. You're watching, you're commenting, you're making me money. Just keep doing that and I'll keep being fantastic. I want Arsenal and City to play each other and go to extra time. Yes, that would be great. That would be very, very helpful. Loads of cramp Yeah, that'd be great. Stargirl said, if this is all true, Liverpool are not going to be happy with whoever's leaking all the information because they like things to be done quietly. That's why the information's going out only from one side. And that's what I mentioned earlier on. The English Liverpool-based journalists have gone kind of quiet on these things. So, look, you're always right to say wait till it's done. Absolutely. But yeah, no, the stories keep coming out, and there's now 3 different Portuguese outlets posting and talking about it, so let's wait and see. And as I said, if it was all nonsense and it was all lies, it would have been shot down by now. Wait, commenting makes you money. Oh my Jesus. King Pop, I feel like you're a troll at this point, mate. Honestly, I feel like you just say shit to wind me up. Commenting makes you money. No, but watching makes me money, because watching means you're going to get ads. Do you get me? Commenting increases the interaction on the channel and pushes us out in the algorithm, same way we ask you to hit the like button and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to say that you need to go away, because I haven't liked the tone of a lot of your comments today, and I don't know why you need to be so sarky towards me. So perhaps just go and watch another YouTuber and see if they'll answer all of your silly little questions the same way I kindly have. So we can move past that. It's proven by his stats. Yeah, but they're old stats. What's proven now is that he missed a load of chances against United in 2 games. Darwin missed a load of chances against United in 2 games. So, yeah, there you go. You can't keep somebody forever. Do you know what I mean? You can't just keep him around till he's 39. And if his contract situation wasn't the way it is, I don't think we would be having the conversation about Mo. I actually don't like that the consideration of this being a problem. No, I'm wording that wrongly. So I don't like that we've let this get to this point. I don't like that we've let him get to 1 year, because we did it with Firmino and Mane, and I didn't like when we did it there either. Why ban him? Because it's my channel and I want to. Would you like me to remove you as well? I told you, I'm not putting up with any crap. I deserve to be talked and treated to the same way I talk and treat other people. So I will do whatever the hell I like on my own channel, and if you don't like it, don't watch. I'm not here to mammy people and pander to people. I'm here to give you news, interact and have fun. When it stops being fun for me, people go bye-bye. It's really simple. You don't get respect, you earn it. And again, find me another YouTuber who talks and interacts as much as I do with people and genuinely enjoys it. But make no mistake about it, I'm not here to pander to idiots. If you could bring one player back in their prime, who would it be? Steven Gerrard. At this moment. It would have been Mascherano until we got in Endo, but at this moment, Steven Gerrard. Do you think Jota will be ready for Sunday? No. No, sorry. I'm confusing myself now, bro. Sorry. I think he'll be in the squad for Sunday. I don't know if he'll be ready to start on Sunday. You know, even if we could get 15, 20 off the bench, that would be great to help us out, because we've really missed them. Same with Trent as well, and Alisson would be great to get back. But yeah, maybe in the squad. Sorry, I was confusing myself there at the start. How do I feel about pressure washers? Genuinely, I can't use them. My hand shakes like this when I finish with a pressure washer, so I can't use them. But I think they're great contraptions. Do you think Amram runs a 3 back line? Yes, I do think he sticks to his 3-4-3 formation. Yeah. Mo is a legend. Absolutely. 100% agree with you, David. One of the greatest players to ever put on a shirt for Liverpool Football Club. I don't think you'll find anybody in the chat, mate, to say that Mo is not a legend. Well, we all agree Mo is a legend. He's earned that right through his performances, through his consistency, through his dedication, through his humbleness, his attitude, his personality. 100% agree with you. I feel like sometimes people, maybe look too deep into these things and think that somebody has an underlying reason. Sometimes it's just the right business decision for the club or for the future. So, as I've said all along, I would happily give Mo a 2-year contract extension on the same money. No issues. I feel Tottenham have the biggest say in the title race. They still have to play us, City and Arsenal, and have the most points against top 6. They definitely have a part to play, George. Yep, you are right. Where I think I'm right in saying this, but open to be corrected, I think we're the only ones that have to play Spurs at home. I think Arsenal and City have to go to the to Spurs Stadium. I know Arsenal certainly do. So yeah, they will have a part to play in this title race, and as well the fact that Spurs have something to play for themselves certainly does make it interesting. Knowing that Jota is coming back soon and his finishing is clinical, would you drop Salah to the bench until his performances improve? So I do one of two things. Who was it asked this? Green Reaper. One of two things. I'd either play Salah on the right, Jota in the centre, and Darwin on the left, or I'd rest Salah, put Nunez on the left, Jota in the centre, and Diaz on the right hand side. One of those two things. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying that. So I'd either play Salah, Jota, Darwin on the left, or Darwin on the left, Jota centre, and Diaz on the right. Maybe don't start Mo on Thursday. I think somebody from the front three should be rested, shall we say, on Thursday. Whether that's probably one of Darwin and Salah, if we're being honest. I think Diaz is probably in the best form of those three. Is Trent good for Sunday? I think so, Ali, but again, I would wait for confirmation from Jurgen on that one. We owe Spurs a battering. Oh, we certainly do. Yes, there's definitely a lot of unfinished business with Spurs to come, definitely. Hope you get to 1 mil by the end of the year. Much love. I don't think we will, Caden. I have a goal though. 350 is my hope for the channel by the end of 2024. But I don't know if we'll ever see 1 million, mate. But 350 be amazing. 250 is amazing, in all honesty. I don't know, SPV, what that means, that sentence, mate. Sorry. Would you eat broccoli for a league title? Yeah, of course I would, mate. Absolutely. If eating a bit of broccoli meant we win the league, 100%. Craig, who's a better say in the transfer window, Edwards or Amorim? Probably Richard Hughes will have the biggest. Richard Hughes, then you have the Will Spearman, who's one of the data analysts. Then you've got the Liverpool scout, Barry Hunter. It'll be a team effort in the window, but Amorim won't have as much influence over transfers as Jurgen Klopp had, because Jurgen earned that influence and that right over his time at the club. So I think it'll be a transfer committee that makes the decisions. Mark, thank you, mate, for gifting a membership. Appreciate you. Not to mention the wasted chances in 3 occasions against United, said Daesh. Craig, is Jota and Trent really back in training? Tomorrow, it's believed, mate. Tomorrow. Some people have been saying they'll be in training tomorrow. So I guess we'll keep an eye out for the images from tomorrow and go from there. Love you from Alabama. Much love, Trent Edwards. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate your kind words. Right, my friends, I'm going to say goodnight and go and see the missus. She's just back from her fire brigade training and I haven't had a chance to catch up with her yet, so I'm going to go and spend some time with my missus. Thank you for coming in tonight. As always, we will see you tomorrow, either at 4 o'clock or 8:30 or both, but most likely we'll be live tomorrow. Anyway, I appreciate you. And the preview will come out at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening for the Atalanta game. And don't forget, tickets are on sale for Dublin and Belfast. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tonight again. It was a fun stream. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.